I'm in. Good afternoon, everybody. What's happening? How you doing? Hope everybody's enjoying their Thursday. It's me, Z. It's Disruption Network. On all Disruption Network social media platforms. Wait, it's not even Thursday. I don't even know what day it is. What day? It's like March 82nd. Welcome to March 82nd. Yeah, still on the universal house arrest. We're live on all Disruption Network social media platforms. And you know, since I've been locked down in my room and in my house, as we all have, as we've been on like quarantine, as they say, it's been cool to reminisce. And I've been diving into my past, if you will, walking down memory lane. And one of the bands I keep coming across, just like I've been interviewing people left and right, but another band that I keep coming across, one that has been embedded in my brain since I woke up with a whole bunch of laundry and furniture on me one afternoon, is because of my good friend from Buffalo, New York, Mark Rhubarb. Mark, how do you, Stoge? We'll just call it Stoge, right?
Stoge. Yeah.
How do you state your last name anyways? I've never even knew that. Stoyanovich, gotcha.
Actually, before we get started here, how did you, I've talked to you, thousands of times. How did you become Z with Donaldson?
Yeah, random story. It happened at the old Captain Trips, and man, it's so stupid. It's just one of those names that stuck. We were hanging out, and some guy introduced me to himself as H, and he goes, "Well, what's your name?" And I said, "Well, my name is Z." And he goes, "What's Z short for?" I was like, "Crazy." And it just kind of stuck. And it like, here it is, like 25 years later, and I'm still fucking Z.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it goes. It's safe to tell everybody out there in internet land that Mark is broadcasting with zero internet right now on this show. So he's going to get fumbled up a lot. As he's gone already. And he's gone. Frozen. I love it. I absolutely love it. Shout out to everybody out there in Facebook land. Maybe Mark will unfreeze himself and we can get to some of these stories.
There he
is.
Hey, that was weird.
That was weird. It was almost like you're in a nitrous balloon for a second there. Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to where we started.
So I want to go back. Like, when did I know the first night I met you, which is rare because I don't really remember too many people their first meeting, but I do remember the night you guys pulled up with Scotty Palooza, right? As the Snowflake Experience, right?
That's
back
right.
in this 2000 or 99?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, as the Snowflake Experience, you, Bill, and Gons with Scotty, and you guys were backing him up when he was DJing and stuff. God rest his soul. He's been coming up a lot in these conversations. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. We had a lot of great nights with him. But that's the first night I met you guys, and you came in. Now, how did you guys get mixed up with Scotty? How did that all get started?
I don't even know. I don't even know. Maybe it was Blind Baby's holiday, maybe, or I would send him Rhubarb music to be able to play at Blind Baby, at Scotty Palooza. And then I think maybe the first time we played at Scotty Palooza, we just became friends. Me and Scotty just kind of hit it off. He's, obviously, he was just a good guy, man. Honestly, I think we just said, he said, "Do you guys want to play?" What? Let me do my Scott Palooza voice.
Yeah.
You guys want to play with us? And we were like, yeah. And then we just like made music, and then we just had we just hung out with them and just did our thing.
Hey, brothers, you guys back me up and I'll DJ all day long, brother. I'll DJ the Snowflake Experience.
You definitely have the best Scotty Palooza impression.
I love that, man. I miss him so much, and he's been gone, if you think about it, almost 10 years now. And And I can still see him. I think about him all the time, man, and I think he's with me all the time. So I'm glad we can actually talk about him and reminisce a little bit. But you guys played the Metro that night, which is now a distillery.
That's what the name of the bar was. I was thinking of it this morning. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, yeah. It was the Metro that you played, and down on Varick Street, which was down the street from the old EC as well, too. So it's right in the same neighborhood.
Okay, yeah, that was like the corner, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking of that this morning. And that was the first place that first time I ever went to Utica. That was the first time.
That was the first time. And then you guys just kept coming back that you even wrote songs about the town.
Oh, yeah. Exit
31! I'm probably going to jump around a lot because we do have so many great stories and like all these after parties that we had and just so many different things. And but I want to go back to he was calling it the snowflake experience. And now that all the political experts and political armchair quarterbacks are out there with the snowflakes, calling everybody snowflakes. I'm like, Scotty Palooza was saying that 25 years ago, right? Do you often think about that when you hear that term?
You know what? Not till right now, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think about why he was calling it that. Wow, that's heavy, Z.
Right?
He was. We could really use that dude right now, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You're right. Yeah. You really could, man. He was like a prophet,
Yeah, I miss him so much, man. He said so many funny one-liners to me that I will never forget. He was just a one-liner guy. He was so good at it too, man.
You're right.
And then he would just walk away and just let you deal with it,
Oh my God, that's funny you say that because one of my favorite Scotty Palooza lines of all time. I was standing there hanging out with this girl Jen, and he walked up and he walks right into the middle of us. He goes, "I want to pack some Jens and smoke some Z's," and he just walks away. And I still use that to this day. He was.
He was so good at that.
Did I lose you again? There goes that nitrous balloon.
No, are we there?
No, yeah, I got you. So, and then that brought into doing the whole festival thing, man. And you guys put on a festival and all the great. Can talk about I'm
gonna get closer to you.
Talk about the whole festival scene back in the day, because you guys were heavy on it back then. You guys played pretty much all the upstate New York festivals. Talk about some of the things that you remember from back then.
Yeah, geez. Well, I remember making $250 for 5 guys at every festival.
If you even got paid.
Yeah. And we did our own festival too, and we tried to get on the train, and I don't know, it was fun. It was super fun. I guess when you're in your 20s, you could do shit like that,
Yeah.
Shit, if somebody asked me to do that now, I'd be like, hell no. 20 years later, you're like, fuck that shit. But it was so much fun. I mean, and that's what I wanted to do in my life, in my 20s. And I'm still a musician. But I just don't put myself in that position anymore, I guess. But it was so much fun, playing in front of. I don't even know if that scene is gonna ever exist again.
Yeah, it's still out there at the lower level. I mean, Sterling's still out there, still doing it, and Blind Babies, right? Brian's still doing it and stuff. But it back then was trend setting,
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, and I say this often too, if you don't have the upstate New York music scene, the festival scene, you don't really have Bonnaroo and Coachella and all those other major festivals you see today.
For sure, yeah. I mean, And I would, I don't know how to explain this, but I like the whole experience of, at 4:00 on Friday when the first band starts and there's nobody like in the big field, like the band playing, and then you're like, yeah, it started, and there's like a feeling like when people are like setting up their camps and stuff, and there's cars rolling in and people are so excited to rage for the weekend. And like I kind of miss that, and I don't even know if that's going to even happen this year.
I know.
Yeah. Who knows? I see a bunch of festivals already canceling, and I don't think it's going to happen this year.
Yeah, I know.
And but I missed it, and and if somebody would, since I've done my own festivals, and I've been like hired as like operation managers, whatever you want to call it, and I enjoy that. You know what I mean? Just kind of like setting that shit up and making it happen, and I like seeing people be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to make. There are certain people who are not musicians, and they love being in front of music. And when I see those people have joy in their face, it's just like something that I can't. It makes me happy. It makes me what I do. I don't even know how to explain it.
Beautiful words, brother, for sure. And making people smile and happy is definitely something that you've been doing for many years, my friend, playing that guitar and entertaining people. And here's another fun fact that people should know is Rhubarb, you guys played the EC like the very second night of the EC. And it was November 1st, 2002. You played with Mecca Bodega that night. And you guys have been very instrumental and pivotal in the way I booked music too back then, because I would use you guys as like an opener a lot, or you have your own night, and we would do a lot of theme nights together, and just we had so many memorable nights that way, and that led into the after parties and the early mornings and the shenanigans, man.
So what was the date of that show?
It was November 1st of 2002.
2002. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's right. We go back, and then we go back even before that. I want to say that when Scotty and you guys came to town was like 99 or 2000.
Sure. So that was the second show you had?
That was the second. It was the second night I was open. Yeah, Joe and those guys in the Soul Train played on the night before on Halloween was opening night, and then you guys came in with Mecca Bodega. Do you remember that night at all?
I do remember that. I remember that definitely.
Good, because I don't.
I remember being there and playing and stuff. I remember counting money on the pool table.
I don't even remember any of that, but I kind of remember it was a night to get going, and a lot of it was hectic. I remember it being very hectic.
That's crazy because we played. So I guess we played the second night of the Electric Company, and then we played the last night of when you guys closed. We played here. And how many? See, I'm terrible at guessing this stuff. I think we might have played 2 to 3 shows a year.
I think maybe even more than that.
Maybe more than that, yeah.
Yeah.
How many years are you open? I don't even know.
So it's just shy of under 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just shy of 10 years.
Play 30 times as your partner.
Easy. You think about how many New Year's in a row you guys played with like Electric Blue, and then you guys switched over to like playing a couple Halloween gigs, and then just random Saranac Thursdays, and I mean the list goes on and on, dude. You guys played so many memorable nights, and then even crossed over into like other gigs too.
Yeah, besides Buffalo, there's my dog.
Besides Buffalo, there's the dog.
Shut up. Besides playing in Buffalo, your gig was your bar was the most we've ever played at.
Yeah, for sure.
Your second line, like McGarrett's or Nietzsche's or whatever, and we played your place. It's funny. More what I think about more about playing in Utica is the drive home, because I always had to drive home for some dumb fucking reason. I was like so hungover, and then we would always bring. In the early days, when I say early days, early 2000s, for whatever reason, Utica Club wasn't in Buffalo, so I would always grab a case of Utica Club just to bring it back to Buffalo. I don't know why. And then we would drink Utica Club, the next weekend or whatever, and people were like, where's this shit from? And now it's all over Buffalo. It's funny.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we would always have Saranac. Saranac was, and it comes from the same place, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, from the same place. That's awesome. Thanks for representing.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
You guys always represented. Some of your favorite moments at the EC. What do you remember the most? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
You know what? This is kind of funny and dumb, but that dude who used to come at the end of the night. Do you know what I'm going to say? Do you know what I'm going to say?
Ray
guy. I don't know why. I always think of that guy, and he made me laugh every time. I don't know. It's just like, you never see ever again. And I don't know why he made me laugh, but that's not really why I loved you guys. But, the Upside Down Pizza from the place next door.
Okay.
What was that place called? Pasquale's or whatever?
Pasquale's, yeah.
Yeah, that guy was always a dick to us. We'd always go there and get a pizza, and he'd always be a dick.
He's a dick to everybody.
Yeah. And I'd be like, why you got to put your pizza upside down? Man, I don't know, man. Nick coming out with a sock on his cock. That was always funny. Oh, you know what I was thinking about last night? I forget you always had good bouncers, man. You always had really good bouncers. And I never remember a fight ever happened in your place. Maybe once, but it wasn't like a big fight. But the one night, there was it was probably we were playing with Smack and Bodega, maybe, I don't know. And your bouncer was he was being very he was getting irritated because nobody was leaving, and he was saying, he was like, you don't have to go home, but you got to leave, whatever they say. And then he was like, if Rhubarb was a bouncer, they would be like, if you don't have to go home, you gotta leave. And he fucking screamed it like Judas Priest guy, I remember that, laughing my ass off. I forget that guy's name.
Probably Sam.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But you always had great bouncers and bartenders, and man, we had so much fun there.
We did. And then we crossed over to Buffalo, too, because we came to Buffalo a bunch. And now, do you remember the time Chokeslam and Coitus, which people should know, Coitus is your improv heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Chokeslam and Coitus did a show together at Broadway Joe's.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right.
So one of my all-time favorite stories, I've documented this before. So Chokeslam had this thing where we would dress up like wrestling characters, and Paul Fulham would come out and wearing like a bikini type of thing, and it would look like he was naked when he had the guitar over himself.
Totally.
But this night in Buffalo, he decided that he was going to wait towards the end of the night to come out in character. Yeah, and there was some dude with like long hair rocking out, this big sweaty metal dude, and he loved us the whole night. He was rocking out to us. He was like the only dude in the bar rocking out to us the whole night. And then we go out, and Paulie comes back out in costume change, and he's wearing this banana hammock, as we call them, the grape smuggler. And he comes out, and the thing, and the guy looks over and he goes, "Oh, I'm going to get fucking sick. I liked you guys until just now. You guys are disgusting." And he left the bar. He took off, man. Well, Coitus was such a great band. I love that. That was such one of my favorite projects that you guys did. Do you guys do that anymore?
I think that may have been the last time we did that. Maybe once or twice. No, we don't do that anymore. I mean, it would have been fun. It was a joke. But we had so much fun with you guys and we did it with a couple other bands. I do remember that night. That may have been the last time we did it. Well, how long do you think that was? 15 years ago? 10 years ago? I don't know.
I would say maybe 2009.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember I had this, I used to wear a girl's motorcycle like jacket, you know what I mean? And it used to like sit in underneath like the seat in my van between shows for like 6 months, like in all like the crud and the beer and stuff, whatever. And I remember, so I'm wearing this like pleather motorcycle jacket, and this girl starts talking to me, and she was like, "Oh, you guys are really good. It was really awesome." And I'm thinking, man, this chick stinks, man. She smells really bad. And then she walks away, and then I'm like, "Oh, it's me." It was my stinky coitus coat.
Dude, my favorite song title of all time is "Heavy Metal Pee in My Blood."
Heavy Metal Pee in My Blood. That was Gonz all the way. I had nothing to do with that. He made that up. That was completely. Well, I think we may have missed our our calling. That he was doing. We were doing improv metal, which is I don't know if that even exists.
It doesn't.
The first time we did that, we did Coitus. We just said yes. We'll do a heavy metal show. And if you ever saw us before, I mean, we come from heavy metal. I don't know what backgrounds or whatever, but the band, we're not a heavy metal band, and Gonz he just took charge, and we didn't even rehearse or do anything. We just said, let's just go for it. And when he said "heavy metal pee in my blood," that was from his soul, man. I'm telling you, man.
Dude, Gonz would really slip into character too during those shows, and he would just
he sure did.
He'd be mean to people and just be like, "I took your $5 that you gave me at the door. I'm going to go out and get me some H." Yeah. He would just slip into character. He was just.
Oh, he sure did, man.
On it.
He missed his call. Well, he's not. What's funny with him is he still plays in like punk rock bands and stuff, and he's still doing his thing. And Gonz he's great, man. I love that dude. Me too.
I got to get him on this program too.
I know. He clicked on the link and he said, I should have had him come on with us, and we could have done the three of us. But you should have him on separately because he can have his own separate stories.
No, I know. We did a lot together, and the one thing I remember is me shaving his head into Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force from one of those Halloween parties. Yeah. Now, was that the night that Ryan Montbleu played with you guys too? Did you guys all play together, or how'd that?
I know we did. I know we sure. Wait, I know we played more than a couple times together. I'm not sure if that was the night. Possibly. I was chatting with Laura on Facebook a few months ago or a month ago or whatever, and we were trying to gather all of those. And I don't know. I'm the worst at knowing what date those were, or what band played with us. I played with so many other bands, and I know we played with those guys a lot. And I know there was one with Peter Prince, and definitely
Electric Blue.
Electric Blue for sure. We did,
The Breakfast maybe.
Breakfast for sure. Yeah, because we used to do Halloween shows. We did about 7 or 8 in a row. Not in a place, but we did about probably 3 or 4 at your place. But we did the Bazoinker Ball in Buffalo, and then we would do 2 nights sometimes. We would do one in Buffalo and one in Utica. And we certainly did a 2-nighter with Ryan Mountain Blue for sure. And then we definitely did 2-nighters with Electric Blue, and we definitely did 2-nighters with Peter Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I miss those guys so much, man.
Me too, man. Me too, all of them. I was fortunate enough to talk to Kelly recently, and I got to talk to Mont Blue last week and Tim Paul Mary last week. And
oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's been the cool thing about this whole quarantine thing, is been able to reach out and communicate with all my old friends, and seeing you guys has been awesome. It's been helping my mental health. I'll tell you that.
Oh, for sure. You ain't kidding, man. I mean, I'm happy to see your face.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, I love your glasses, man. Those are awesome.
I'm going with my Hanson look, brother. The machine's
I'll watch out here. Do I look all bright and weird?
You've always been bright and weird.
No, thank you.
Always that. So, you know what I want to ask you about is anal pudding. Is anal pudding still around?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, those guys are still around.
Yeah.
But I don't think they play anymore. Yeah, we did. That's right. We did do a coitus. We did a 2-nighter. We did Rhubarb, and then we did coitus, pudding the next day. That's right. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. That's when I stole the rainbow cello out of the front window. I wanted to talk to you about that. That's one of the things that are on my list.
Okay.
I had that weird cello with all the stamps on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This big cello. It had like a tent stake and on the top of it and stuff. I donated that to a bar who was looking for weird instruments to like put in the window and stuff. And they had it in their place. They've since closed, but I would have to ask if it's still around. But that was that rainbow cello. Do you know what I'm talking about, Z?
Oh, I know 100% one you're talking about. Yes.
I have pictures of that on my Facebook page and stuff. I used to play that thing all the time, and it was so weird. Because there was no strings on it or anything, but I put like bass strings on it and made all kinds of weird noises and shit. But that Rainbow's, I don't know if he's on. I doubt he's on Facebook, right? But
no.
And but that thing made that got a second life. So that was probably, I don't know, 15 years ago, whatever. So that stayed, it was in my closet. I moved that thing from like 2 different apartments and everything. And I was like, why the fuck am I moving this stupid thing? And I was like, I can't leave this thing around. And by the way, I saw your rainbow thing recently. God bless America.
That's happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Maybe God Bless America's next. We'll see.
Yeah. I want to say the last, maybe I'm wrong, but the last show we played at the Electric Company, I'm pretty sure he was on stage with us.
Chances are. I feel like you and Rainbow were like a match made in heaven.
Oh yeah, man, we were buddies, man. I always accepted him as a cool dude, and I never, he never asked me for money or anything. Love that dude.
He's still out there doing it. So he sits on a street corner all day long with his shopping cart full of instruments and just bangs it. He's still doing his thing, man.
Yeah, that's great. Good to hear.
Yeah. He's still out there doing his thing. It's good though. It keeps his mental health going too, right?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Rainbow's been screaming about this shit for years, man. He's been yelling "Revolution."
Revolution!
He is. He's been screaming this shit for years. You think Rhubarb would ever get back together? Maybe we could do another Utica show or something.
Oh yeah, we're still together, man. We ain't. We're still playing. We're doing this. Well, if people will allow us to play music again, we've been playing every week at this bar in Buffalo up till the quarantine. So yeah, we're still doing our thing, man. I don't think Nick and I will ever stop playing music together. I don't think it's possible. I think when we're old farts and we can't even move our fingers, that's when we'll stop it. Like I love that guy. Like we can go. This is the longest time we actually since 1997. This is the longest time we've gone without playing together.
Really?
This whole month? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We always play, man. We always play music. We've always played a couple gigs a month. And when we were super busy in the early 2000s, man, we played 12, 15 gigs a month. Yeah, I mean, we're not, super active right now, but we still
do your thing.
We still do our thing, man. Yeah, man. I really miss just playing music in general, man. It really sucks. Like,
Have you done any live streaming at all?
A little bit, just me with my, acoustically.
Yeah.
I don't really have any. I guess we could get together and, and do the quarantine jam or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, I've done about 3 or 4 live stream. No, actually, it wasn't live stream. It was just I recorded a video and then posted it.
Who you got playing drums for you? The kid or Bill? Or is Bill playing with
Brian Campbell, man.
He's still with it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's not a kid anymore, but he's that dude, man. I gotta tell you, so we've had a few drummers over the years, and we went from, well, anyways, let me tell you this. Besides the other drummers, which are all great and they're all awesome and they're all doing their own thing. So when we needed a new drummer, when Ryan, our current drummer, was playing in a different band, I just kind of casually mentioned it to one of his band members, and he goes, "What about Ryan?" And I go, "Well, he's your drummer. I'm not trying to steal anybody's drummer." He was like, "I don't give a fuck." And he just he was like, "We're not going to be a band forever. We're all doing our things." And then 10 minutes later, because Ryan was in the bar I was at, and I said, "Hey, we need a drummer." And he was like, "Okay." And then 10 years later, he's in. And this dude is just unbelievable. He's just unbelievable. His ability, he's so smart. He plays other instruments, so he's got ability to his ears are so good. I'm just going to say this right now, is the only reason I am I'm not even as successful a musician, but the only reason I am in bands is because I surround myself with dudes who are better than me, man, for sure. Like Nick and Campbell, their ears are so good, and they could just hear stuff, and they could just do things. I just let them go, and I just hang out on the side. Like they're so good. You got to have a good rhythm section, right?
For sure.
And they're just so good.
And it just goes to show you the Buffalo music scene is getting so rich in talent too. Like all across the whole city. There's a lot of great players in that town.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And these, it's funny, like the old dudes, what I consider old dudes, like me and the older guys, like the guys that were old when I was 20, are still hanging around and doing stuff. And then there's like dudes in their 20s who are coming out and they're doing a great job, man. There's great bands. I don't know. There's always good music coming out of. I mean, anywhere.
Always
bands coming out of Buffalo or Utica, and
for sure. For sure. But Buffalo's always been really good with you catch a good flyers here and there. I mean, there's a lot of great artists come out. Billy Sheehan's from Buffalo. Rick James is from Buffalo. The Goo Goo Dolls. Yeah. Aqueous is killing it right now, man. Mo started in Buffalo. I mean, there's a lot of great music coming out of that town.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and there's good venues popping up, and Buffalo's now in their renaissance, and now we can't go to a fucking show, but whatever. That'll change. We'll get back. And I just I think that I have I've since moved out of Buffalo proper. I'm like now in the I'm not in the suburbs. I'm like a half hour away. But I still go back, and every couple days because that's my job. Well, when I had a job. Buffalo's downtown is so cool, man. It's I really love going there, and I lived in when I moved to Buffalo in 97-ish. I moved one town over. I grew up in Lackawanna, which is a suburb over. And when I moved out of my parents' house, I moved to the west side of Buffalo, and I lived there for 20 years. Mm-hmm. You stayed at my house.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I love living there, but sometimes you want a driveway and a garage.
Yeah, right. No doubt. Hey, I want to give me a good Ed Drake story. Like when I mentioned Ed Drake, what's the first thing come to your mind?
I have a great one. I love Ed Drake so fucking much. And okay, here's my best Ed Drake story. Mm-hmm. So this is the Bazoinker shows, right? The Halloween shows. And so we did I'm assuming it was a Friday in Buffalo. And we were coming to the Electric Company on Saturday. And so I don't know if you're familiar with Cabbage Head from Kids in the Hall. Laura is, because Laura and I are so anyways, he has a cabbage for a head, and that's his shtick, and he's basically a misogynist man who has cabbage. So anywho, we're driving down the 90. We're like in like Syracuse or whatever, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I forgot my cabbage. Because I needed a fresh cabbage. Because I used the cabbage the day before, and it gets all like wilty or whatever. And I bought 2 cabbages. And so I call Ed Drake, and I go, hey, Ed, how you doing? He was like, okay, bud, how you doing? Whatever, I'm trying to do my Ed Drake. And I go, can you get me a cabbage? He goes, a cabbage? And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't tell him why I needed a cabbage. And he goes, okay. And he got me a cabbage. And when I got to the Electric Company, he walked in with a cabbage. Like, how many people would do that? I probably wouldn't. If Ed Drake called me, if he was coming from Buffalo or coming from Utica to Buffalo and asked me to buy him a cabbage, I would be like, I'm not going to the fucking store to buy you a cabbage.
But he did it for you.
Cabbage. No questions asked. No questions asked. He bought me a cabbage. So that's my favorite Ed Drake story.
Probably without blinking an eye, though, thinking, it's Mark. He needs a cabbage. Like, no big deal. Like it's no big surprise. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and then when we got to, because we're at the bar at like 8 o'clock or whatever, and I wasn't in my costume, and he was like, so he hands me the cabbage, and then he doesn't even ask me why I wanted the cabbage. He just like walked away and like got a Utica Club or whatever.
Here's your cabbage. Dude, you guys were famous for like first of all, you were the band not to fall asleep around. That was like your go-to for so many years. Like, do not fall asleep around Rhubarb, because you will wake up with like a pile of laundry on you, or like books, or like CD. I've seen people wake up with furniture on top of them because of these guys. Like, it became a game. Like, how did that start? Who started that one? Is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, you guys didn't do that. You didn't do that. Like when you were. That wasn't a thing in Utica.
I don't think it became a thing until I started running with you guys.
I don't know, man. Maybe it was just me and Gons. Shit, we used to do that when we were growing up. I don't know, like, man, there's so many pictures. Every once in a while, it's really the funny thing with this, sitting around doing nothing. People are digging up pictures and stuff and sending them to. And I've been getting some picture, phone pictures of like old pictures of from the like 1997 and shit. And man, we used to stack shit up like you wouldn't believe. Like
I know.
I guess I just thought that's how everybody did in the 90s.
Yeah, maybe they did. You get, of course, you get the drawing on the face and stuff like that, but you guys took it to a whole nother level. Oh yeah,
there's that one. It's on Facebook somewhere. I mean, I think it's at Drake's page where it was Gons all the way, where we took a yardstick. I think we balanced it on his nose and with like beer, like all kinds of stuff, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, we used to go crazy. It was never malicious or anything.
Right.
But man, we used to get back to each other. In my own house, I used to do Thanksgiving parties. I used to put a turkey in my oven at like 9 o'clock at night on Thanksgiving night, after everybody already had Thanksgiving, and we used to eat it at like 4 a.m, get all fucked up. And but these guys stacked all kinds of shit in front of my door. Nick and Billy and I couldn't eat. I had to wait. I got up at whatever time it was, and I had to get out. I had to take a piss so bad, and I couldn't open my door because they jammed the shit on the handle, and my door wouldn't open. I had to open up my window and take a leak outside.
Who was the one that you saran wrapped somebody's doorway, right? Didn't you saran wrap somebody's doorway?
Yeah. Because we used to live together as a band.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad we never murdered anybody.
God.
All kinds of shit. Yeah, we definitely saran wrapped the door. We used to have this, those like shitty keyboards that have like the intro song.
Yeah.
We used to put that shit, like we used to just turn it on and set it in front of the door and then leave the house and stuff. Man, it's amazing that we're still friends.
Oh man, if anybody out there is watching too, that if they could share this link would be great, and two, if they have any old pictures of Rhubarb stacking stuff on people, I'd really love to see some of those pictures. There's been some classic stuff. Another thing is, do you still talk to Wags?
Oh yeah.
You? Now that guy was uber genius. That guy, I watched him tune Laura's piano with a pencil and dental floss, and he tuned her piano with a pencil and dental floss.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, he's not too far from me. I don't see him as much as I would like to. He's got a couple kids, and he's still doing his thing. He's still awesome as hell. Uh, um, I love that dude so much, man. And I remember having so much fun at Laura's with him, busting out. She had a Journey songbook in her bench, and he was playing all those Journey songs. And yeah, man, I miss that dude. I don't, like I said, I don't see him as much as I should, but he's doing his thing, and he's playing music. He's playing, Sammy Marabella, right?
Oh, of course, Broadway Joe's.
Yeah. And he plays with him. Well, he was when we were. I keep saying that. I got to stop doing that. With his band, and he plays with Rhubarb too. He's basically he's kind of like an honorary member. He always, he's always in the band. That dude is basically the smartest guy I ever met in my life, man.
No doubt.
And I love our conversations. We talk on the phone here and there, and it's funny. Our conversations are he'll call me and he'll be like, he'll call me. I call him Stoge, I call him Wags, and he calls me Stoge, and he'll be like, Stoge. And I'm like, Wags. And he was like, Wags here. And I'm like, yeah. And then he'll be like, what are you doing? And then I'll be like, nothing. And then like 12 seconds happens, and I'm like, why are you calling me? And then he'll have some serious shit to talk about because he's like waiting to like deal with it. He's an awesome dude, man. I'll know him for the rest of my life, or his life, or whatever. I got a great story about his dad who passed away a few years back, maybe 5-6 years ago. Wags had he had an old cop car, like a Chrysler, whatever you fucking call those things, those big fuckers. And this is real quick. He goes, he called me up and he said, every time I try to start my car, key won't turn, and if I hit my horn, then it'll start. And I'm like, what are you talking about, right? So anyways, long story short is, so he shows me this, and he turns the key, nothing happens, he hits the horn, and the car starts, right?
What?
Okay, yeah. So then we're thinking some weird electrical problem or whatever, and his dad, who is a crazy genius man, comes up, and he's not a mechanic by trade, but he comes up, I think he was living in Boston at the time, and he comes up to Buffalo, and so like we're all like, peacocking, check this out, Mr. Wagner, beep, beep, beep. I'm showing him, and he's like, it's got to be some electrical problem. And his dad looked at it for 12 seconds. He pulls out a penny from his pocket, and he turns a screw on what I didn't know what it was, and then he goes, try it again. And then Wags turns the key, and the car fires right up. What it was the horn was making a sound and making the connection on a solenoid that was in front of the horn, the bump, the speaker. And it was shaking the thing. His dad was that smart. It took him 12 seconds to figure this shit out. And we were fucking with this for a month. And he just took a penny out of his pocket. And we had a whole toolbox sitting there. He didn't even want to mess with the toolbox. He just took a penny and tightened the screw. And he walked in the house and made himself a cup of coffee.
So it's hereditary in his family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that night he tuned, I couldn't believe it. He tuned her piano with dental floss and a pencil, and then proceeded to play Journey songs for the rest of the night.
All night long. Yeah.
Oh, man, we had a great sing-along. So many great nights, man. Many, many memorable nights.
Yeah,
Love
for
it.
sure. Yeah, I remember he wanted to murder a band that will be on. We will unname the band.
Okay.
We were playing before them, but they wanted to do a sound check before us, and the keyboard player was like learning the songs before the show, and Wags was like ready to stab him in the neck with a trident.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, we won't have to say who it is.
Yeah, I know who it is now. I do remember, but the keyboard player is no longer playing with them, right?
I don't know. Who knows?
I know who you're talking about. Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, walking down memory lane. It has been, this whole lockdown, whatever, has put a lot of things into perspective, but it's good that we can reflect and talk about these memories. And man, we didn't even scratch the surface because there's so much shit that we're not even talking about that we're probably both forgetting right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, did we touch anything on your list? Get your list out.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Right, I want to see this list.
What I miss most about the electric company is going into your office, well, the green room, whatever you want to call it, and putting shit on your desktop. We used to do that every time.
Every time. Every time. Yeah.
First thing on my list. Oh, and Ray Guy, we talked about Ray Guy.
Uh-huh. Want me to bring my fiddle?
Rainbow. Oh, here's one that really, really is awesome. So you used to give us rooms a lot. We used to stay at Laura's most of the time, or your house, or Ed's, and then there'd be sometimes like for the holidays or whatever, you get us rooms at the Hotel Utica or the Red Roof Inn or whatever. And there was one time where I don't know why. I don't know if you just didn't, or if we didn't, or we missed going to Ed's. I don't know what happened, but I went with the band to the Red Roof Inn, right by the exit to the thruway, right? And I said to the guy, I said, "Hey, we got a room. Z from the electric company said he got us a room." And he was like, "Okay." And he just handed me a key. He swiped the thing, and I did like the Jedi mind trick, and we got a free room. And you definitely did not call the guy. And the guy was like, "Holy fuck, how did you do that?"
You name dropping son of a bitch, you.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully you didn't have to pay for that.
I don't remember. So
yeah, that was like that was in the early days. Because I think what happened was we were supposed to stay with Ed Drake, and then we went to somebody's backyard fire, and like everyone got fucked up and like was sleeping in the grass and shit, and we were like, "Oh my God, we need to get out of here." And Ed was sleeping or whatever, so we just went there and slept from like 7 a.m. to noon, and then they kicked us out because that's when you got to leave anyway,
You got a free room out of dropping my name. You sons of bitches, you. That's great.
All right, what else?
What else you got on your list?
Oh, with Cabbage, I talked about that. What else? Geez, I think we talked about a lot of it.
Awesome.
Oh, that weird fucked up tree that was upstairs with all the cans on it. What's up with that? You remember that?
Oh, next door.
Was it next door?
Yeah, at Lenny's house.
Oh, that wasn't in the bar?
No, that wasn't in the bar. That was next door. Remember he had the Utica club tree? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. That's what we used to call backstage at the EC. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that was my buddy's house that we would just kind of hang out in.
He lived there?
He lived there. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh,
I thought that was upstairs in the bar.
Hilarious, brother. Hilarious. Mark, this has been awesome, man. I'm glad actually the Wi-Fi connection worked out. It all miraculously worked out. I can't believe it.
Yeah. What I had to do was move my phone to the other side of the house.
There you go. Are you you guys on Spotify? Like, how can people check out Rhubarb or any of your music that's out there?
Rhubarbsucks.com. You know what? I had it's a long story short, but I had a broker that put all our stuff on all the platforms, and then I fired that person, and then I didn't realize that all our music would be taken off of all the platforms. So I just got to deal with it again. But just go to our website. It's free. You could buy our music if you want. You can download it for free. Actually, you can pay whatever you want. That's how we have it right now.
Cool.
So you can have it for free. You can listen to it a billion times. You can download it. You can look at all of our faces and stuff. And but I believe it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you can touch my leg if you want to. If you want to. If you want to.
Want to.
Mark, thanks for all the great years, man. I got a lot of love for all you guys, and thank you for showing me all the love in Buffalo too, man. Shout out to everybody in Buffalo. I got so many great friends in that town. I always say Buffalo's just a bigger Utica. It is.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You know, a lot of the same infrastructure and architecture and the food culture and just all that, man.
Yeah, man. I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too.
We'll have to get together and do what we used to do. I'll pile some empty beer cans on you.
Oh, cool! And I'll pour Jim Beam down your throat. And,
oh yeah,
I think it'll be fun.
Actually, I didn't even mention that you gave us a bottle of Jim Beam every time we played.
It was kind of like an unspoken contract of ours.
Yeah, every time we played Electric Company, there was a bottle of Jim Beam, and I pretty much can say that no other bar has ever done that for us, unless I was like really bitching about it.
Yeah, I could honestly say that I have never drinking Jim Beam. No, I had the twitch like this too.
Yeah.
This was a nervous twitch. Send my love to Gons. And Gons, if you're watching this, I'd like to get you on the podcast too. Mark, thanks again for joining me, man. This has been a lot of fun. Shout out to Todd, too, back in the studio for putting up with us today. Todd, you're the man. Thank you so much. And also much love to Saranac and Utica Coffee and EJA Moving Services and, of course, attorney Dave Longaretta. Tomorrow, something big. We're doing something a little bit different. It's big in my friend's world. It's not so big to me. I can't believe I let him do this to me, but it's going to happen tomorrow where Aaron Marr, otherwise known as Boonville, is going to take over EC Radio. And
I'm going to watch this shit.
He's going to flip the coin and interview me. And so yesterday we did a timeline, and it was pretty interesting going. Did you ever do a timeline of your life, Mark?
No.
No, try it. It's really weird, man. And not just walking through pictures, but trying to remember where you were at these points in times of your life.
Oh, but I don't even think I want to do that.
It's creepy. It's weird. But we're going to go through my history tomorrow on EC Radio at 3 o'clock with Aaron Marr, otherwise known as Boonville. I'm the one that nicknamed him Boonville, by the way.
Boonville actually, he without saying too much, he pretty much abducted my life for one night once.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
One time. Only once.
Yeah, actually, he brought up a story to me yesterday that him and I slept at your house, and I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we ate summer sausage, and you barfed in my toilet. It was like one of those big old stupid summer sausages. Yeah, we were at McGarrett's, and we did like 3,000 sausages, or shots, I mean.
Okay. Oh, my God. That's great. Great story, bro.
Yeah, I forgot he was there. That's right.
He brought that up last night.
Buffalo.
Yeah, we used to come in and out of Buffalo just to hang. Just because it was like a Wednesday, we'd come and hang out in Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Lots of good times, buddy.
I actually cleaned up your barf on the wall.
Oh, thank you, bud. See, that's a good friend right there.
Yeah. Well, you probably cleaned up a lot of barf at the electric companies.
And shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mark, thanks for walking down memory lane with me, brother. I got a lot of love for you. Shout out to Buffalo and Gons and the rest of the Rhubarb clan. Thank you to Todd, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later.
All right, be cool, Z. I love you.